Euro 2024 is just around the corner and I cannot wait for it. I am so excited. It has been 3 years. It's usually 4. It's 3 because of the COVID pandemic last time since the last Euro, which happened in 2021, where Italy were obviously crowned champions, and I cannot wait for another tournament. I'm going to be infected with cup fever for a month. We've got the Copa America as well. There's going to be content covering both those tournaments on this channel, so please subscribe. And today, we're going to be covering the dark horses of Euro 2024. Now, I think the important thing to remember is that when it comes to dark horses, we are making predictions. And there are many occasions, too many occasions, where we make predictions and we are incorrect. I mean, so many people at the last tournament were going on about Turkey, potential dark horses. They ended up being the worst team at the tournament with 0 points, scoring just 1 goal. So these predictions could go horribly wrong, but I've got top 5 teams that I think could surprise a lot of people and could be potential dark horses. And I'm going to rank them from 5 to 1 in terms of who I think will actually be the biggest dark horse. Now, number 5, I have gone with Ukraine. Now, Ukraine, the reason they're not higher on this list is because I don't even know if you can actually consider them a dark horse anymore, because they are a proper side. And they haven't got a tough group either. They've got Belgium, Romania, Slovakia, which might be on paper the weakest group. And the team is good. The team is good. I mean, Artem Dovbyk is finished as the top goal scorer, I believe, of La Liga. He's going to be leading the line up front for Ukraine. I mean, Lunin in goal went through a stellar campaign for Real Madrid. He's going to be in goal. Zinchenko, we know how good he is. The likes of Ilya Zabani at the back. And then going forward, Mikhailo Mudryk, Tsigankov. It is a very good team. And they did just get a draw against Germany in a friendly. It was 0-0. They managed to keep the Germans away from scoring a goal. I mean, that is impressive in itself. And the fact that they are in a group that is definitely, it's definitely even potential for Ukraine to win this group. I mean, Belgium are not what they used to be. I think they are on big fraud watch. I mean, I don't know how good the manager Tedesco is for Belgium, and the fact that the team is aging and the defence isn't as good as it used to be, and the fact that at the World Cup they did also get grouped. Maybe they are going to have another bad tournament and Ukraine could potentially top the group. Who knows how it's going to go. They qualified through the playoffs, Ukraine, where they did go on and beat Iceland to get into the Euros. They had a really tough group, though, with England and Italy, and managed to get a draw against both of them. They drew England 1-1 and Italy 0-0, which is pretty impressive. And the other time they only lost to Italy 2-1 and only England 2-0. So they are a very good side. And they got a draw against Germany, as I mentioned. And before that, they also did get another draw in another friendly against Germany that finished 3-3. This team is pretty good. I mean, last Euros, they got to the quarterfinals, where England did smash them, but they got there, and they had a pretty good campaign that was pretty impressive. And now, I think this team is better, more experienced, they've got a target man up front. That is, I think, the key. They have got a focal point. And with everything going on in the country, I think that will unite the people. I don't know how good the fan atmosphere will be for Ukraine, but I feel like they're all going to be together fighting for their nation, and I feel like in this group they definitely have a chance. Slovakia aren't great, Romania aren't great, and Belgium are not what they used to be. Potentially even a win in the group, which would then lead them to play a third place team, and a potential second quarterfinal in a row coming for Ukraine. Now, my 4th dark horse pick has to be Switzerland. Now, these guys are interesting. They're very interesting. I have always been a fan of the Swiss, and ever since I started watching football, these men always perform at international tournaments, right? I mean, if we go back to the last Euros, they got to the quarterfinals and only lost to Spain on penalties. If we think about the World Cups before that, in 2018, they finished second in a group with Serbia, who everyone was going to say was going to be better than them. Switzerland always, I mean, even in the last World Cup, same situation, Switzerland, Serbia, who's going to be better? Most people said Serbia, and Switzerland did it again. Now, the showing at the last World Cup wasn't good, so Portugal absolutely smacked them up, which is very good. But you can see that this team has quality, and the fact that they always somehow they win games. I mean, they beat France at the last Euros, and they didn't dominate that game. It was 3-3, and then they won on penalties, with Mbappe obviously missing the deciding penalty. So they are a good knockout team, and that is why I think that they're similar to Croatia in a way, just with less quality. They always, when you're playing a knockout game against them, you can never think you're going to go into that game and it's going to be easy. No, they will make it tough for you. They will try and take it over 90 minutes, and then they can get you. That's how they got France. That's how they nearly got Spain. And they were nearly in the semi-finals last time. And they've got a good team. The centre-back partnership of Akanji and Fabian Schär is incredible. Behind them, Jan Sommer, we know how good he is, especially in international tournaments. In the middle, Granit Xhaka is going to be crucial for this team because of what he does, the way he dictates the tempo, and the season he has just had at Leverkusen. Dennis Zakaria, incredible. Remo Freuler at Bologna. Bologna had an incredible, a historic campaign all the way into the Champions League now, and he was a huge part of that, playing 32 Serie A games. Xherdan Shaqiri, we know what he does at international tournaments. He shows out. Could it be a breakout tournament for someone like Ruben Vargas, who's had a good season over in the Bundesliga for Augsburg? And will Breel Embolo finally live up to the hype? I mean, he had a lot of injuries, but whenever he plays for Switzerland, I always feel like he's quite good. So I think the Swiss, and they've got a tough group. Germany, one of the favourites and the hosts, and Hungary, going to talk about later. But even if they do come third, I still think that whoever they play might struggle with them. I mean, from the predictions that I've done, I've seen that potentially if they do get third and do go through, they could come up against the winner from Group E, which we just talked about, could be Ukraine, could be Belgium. Switzerland could shock both of those teams. That is why I think that they could. I think they'll definitely make it out the group. And I think a quarterfinals is possible depending on who they draw and where they finish in the group. And I think the only question mark here is the manager, Murat Yakin. Is he good enough? We'll see about that. But I think the team certainly is. They have experience from previous tournaments. And I just feel like they have something that they have that similar, like I said, the similar feel to Croatia. And they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, and also a team that you definitely shouldn't be underestimating at this tournament. Number 3, I have Austria. Austria are quite simply amazing, right? Amazing. Like, they are in a group with France and Netherlands, are potentially the second group of death after Group B. France and the Netherlands, yet I still believe that this team are going to be dark horses. Let me tell you why. Ralf Rangnick at the helm as manager. He's a good manager. Let's not get it twisted from what we saw at Man United. He is a good manager. And in recent times, they have been beating sides. And I don't mean beating, I mean beating. They beat Turkey. They slapped Turkey up 6-1 in the last round of international friendlies. 6-1 against Turkey. That is not an easy task. Let me not even mention the fact that they didn't have David Alaba in that game. They beat Slovakia 2-0. They beat Germany 2-0 back in November, which was very, very impressive. And this team is very, very good. Marcel Sabitzer, Christoph Baumgartner, Gregoritsch, Konrad Laimer. This is a very, very solid team. And the Dutch have their weaknesses. They have a lot of weaknesses. Going forward, they're not the greatest. And Ronald Koeman as manager, I don't trust that. I don't think it's very good. France are obviously incredible. But who's to say that France don't slip up against Austria? That they don't do an Argentina-Saudi Arabia situation potentially? Because I think France could still win this tournament, but there's definitely a chance that they slip up on opening day against Austria, or opening game for them, because this team are set up tactically so well. And in recent months and years, they haven't been losing. They lost to Belgium 3-2 narrowly back in October. And then their last loss before that was in September of 2022, when they lost in the Nations League against Croatia. And no one's talking about them. No one is talking about them. I'm sorry, but 6-1 against Turkey is very revealing about where this team are. And overall, if you look at the squad, Bundesliga players, experience, Marko Arnautovic, experienced players who know how to do it. They're good from set pieces as well. At the last Euros, they only lost to the eventual winners, Italy, in extra time. They're a very, very good team. And there's going to be a predictions video coming soon, but I'm not going to tell you where I've got them. But I certainly think they could make a push for a quarterfinals, maybe even a semis if they get lucky, because they are that good. And Ralf Rangnick has got this team playing ball. Number 2, I have gone with the Hungarians, as mentioned previously. These guys are special. They are very special. They are in a group with Germany, Switzerland and Scotland. One of the most fascinating groups, I would say. I think Scotland will finish fourth. I'm not gonna like go through everything, but that's probably the weakest team on paper. But then the other three, anything can happen. What version of Germany are we going to see? What version of Switzerland are we going to see? And then Hungary. There's a lot about them. There's so much to like about them. And the main thing is the fact that they haven't lost a game since September 2022, which I believe is the longest unbeaten streak in Europe and the second longest in the world behind the Colombians, who are going crazy. So that says all you need to know. And then in the Nations League, they beat Germany. They slapped up England. They beat England twice. And 4-0, that game is really, really memorable. And all the England fans will remember that game, as Gareth Southgate nearly got sacked after that. And Hungary absolutely blew England out of the water. And they lost to Italy in the Nations League and that was their last loss. And since then, they haven't lost. And they've played against some good teams as well. They played against Serbia. They've played against Turkey. They've played against the Czech Republic. I mean, we're not that good, are we? But, you know, they got a draw to us. And the thing is, they are in the habit of not losing games. And even though they have a few draws here against the likes of Lithuania and Bulgaria, who aren't the greatest teams, in the qualification group, they did very, very well. I mean, very, very well. They topped their group by a lot ahead of Serbia and then Montenegro. 7 points ahead of third place. They did very well. And the team, let me talk about the squad. Let me talk about the manager, first of all, Marco Rossi, because this guy, he absolutely loves Hungary. I think he won like a competition. He won like the cup or something, or the league with a Hungarian team, and then he like quit because he didn't want to like bring them back down or whatever. He wanted to leave on a high, and then the Hungary manager job became available, and he took it, and he's been with them since. He was there at the last Euros, and he just loves Hungary. Apparently he's Italian, but he goes around saying, I'm not Italian, I'm Hungarian. So there's someone at the helm who's done a great job, who is behind all of this recent success and the steady rise of Hungary. And at the last Euros, you have to remember, they were in the group of death with Germany, Portugal and France without their best player Dominik Szoboszlai, and they did very, very well. They got a draw against France and Germany and only lost to Portugal late on in the game. So what does that tell you about this Hungary team? And the fact that they don't have many superstars, Dominik Szoboszlai, I'd say, is definitely the superstar, and I think he could be a key player, especially because he missed the last Euros. But this team, the likes of Roland Shalai going forward, I mean, Jolton Nagy, I mean, these guys are good. Milos Kerkez at the back, right? Willy Orban, and then in goal, Peter Gulacsi. This team are a force to be reckoned with. And they could win the group. They could win the group. Absolutely, they could top the group. Like the likes of Marton Dardai, who stars for Hertha Berlin. Who knows who is going to actually start for these guys? I mean, the likes of Callum Styles. He plays for Barnsley in the second division, yet he's starting for Hungary and always puts in a shift. And this team, they work hard for each other. They've got a good style of play going forward. They don't have a superstar goal scorer that's going to get you everything. Very opposite to what Ukraine, as I was saying with Dovbyk. But they score goals. Everyone chips in. Everyone in that attack is scoring goals. The fact that they managed to put 4 past England shows you something. And they could top this group. They could go for a quarterfinals. It could go horribly wrong with them. Who knows? But I think that depending on where they finish in the group and who they play, I think they'll definitely make a round of 16. Maybe a quarterfinal depending on the draw. But I think they're a very, very good team. And a potential dark horse that no one is talking about. And my final pick, my number 1 dark horse, has to be Albania, man. It has to be. Albanian fans, you know how much I love you after all the videos that I made about Albania and the fact of how good they were in qualifying. Me, from the Czech Republic, we got absolutely smoked. I was there at the game in Prague where it finished 1-1. And then, a month later, we took them on in Tirana and they battered us 3-0, like completely battered us. Blew, like it was incredible, right? It was incredible. Like, we did not stand a chance against them. And they did the same to Poland. They beat them 2-0 as well. And in the recent friendly now against Liechtenstein, who I know aren't a great team, they beat them 3-0 as well. So they're in the habit of winning. And because they're in the group of death, no one is talking about them. But what I got to tell you is, Spain can't score goals. Croatia are coming to the end of a generation. And Italy are very simply not that great. So who is to say that Albania can't shock the world? Now, I really like the manager, Silvino. I think he has done really, really well. He was managing at Corinthians before that and whatever. So He's really knows how to be in these situations. He managed at Lyon, and in his senior career as a player, he's been around the places. He's Brazilian, and he's brought in like a different sort of style to Albania, something they've never seen before. And they've only made it to 1 Euros previously, and that was in 2016. They didn't make it out of the group, but they did finish third. They were unlucky that time. Maybe this is the time that they make it out the group, in the group of death. That is what I think, right? When I'm talking about Darkhorse for some of these teams, when I'm talking about like Hungary and Ukraine and these guys, for me, if they do well and they do fulfill that Darkhorse title, that would be a quarter-final. For Albania, it would be just simply getting out of the group, and I think that could happen. No one has even given them a chance. I've spoken to so many people, I've watched so many people on YouTube. No one is giving these guys a chance. But let me tell you this. Let's go through the team. At the back, the likes of Berat Jimshiti. Really, really good, right? And then we move into midfield. Jasir Asani, this guy is incredible, and he knows how to put in a shot from range. I can just imagine on that first game against Italy, something, is going 0-0, it's tight, backs against the wall. He strikes one in, top bins, like he did against Poland, like he did against Czech Republic, and that is what he's capable of. I mean, I know Chazim Lachi from Sparta. This guy is really, really good, really effective at those chance creations, those passes in behind. Christian Aslani at Inter Milan, such a young talent, such a baller. And then going forward, Taulan Seferi, Armando Broja. These guys know how to put the ball in the back of the net. They do. I mean, they put it 3 times against the Czech Republic, right? And they are on a rise. They just... It's something different. No one has seen Albania. Albania before Silvino were absolutely done. I mean, if you look at the games they were losing to Israel, to Qatar. They drew with Iceland and stuff like that. And then, in qualifying, they turned into a different beast. And that is why this could be the tournament. Second time lucky. Last time, it finished third, didn't make it out. This time, could they make it third and make it out the group? Maybe second. Who knows? They could. It's very likely they'll finish fourth. But I think there's something in the air. Something tells me, and maybe it's the fan support, the amazing fans that Albania have. You know who you guys are. Amazing support that Albania bring. And they're going to have it in Germany for the Euros. So let's see what happens there. Because I'm telling you, don't count them out. They will fight, and keep on fighting. And no one is talking about them. So they will take that underdog title and they will use it against you. Just like Poland and Czech Republic did in the qualifiers. We looked at Albania as like, Albania, who cares? And they made us pay. They could do that at the Euros as well. They will definitely draw at least... everyone's saying 0 points. That is obscene. They will draw at least one game. And I think... I'm not going to reveal my prediction just yet because the predictions video will be coming soon. But I think Albania could be about to shock the world. Right, thank you guys for watching till the end. Drop a like on the video. There's going to be loads more content covering this and the Copa America before the tournament and during the tournament, as it's going to be an incredible month of football. See ya, man.